I know, it's been quite a while since I've talked about Lattafa fragrances. There's so much competition out there, but you guys deserve this video. What Lattafa fragrances right now are still worth it? And you'd be surprised, there are quite a few. What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Today we're going to be talking about Lattafa fragrances and which ones are currently worth it. A lot of them are still worth it, okay? We're talking about from the perspective of somebody who constantly collects fragrances, new fragrances from multiple brands, including direct competition to these Middle Eastern brands, okay? Now, when it comes to competing with a lot of these other designers and even some niche, there's no competition. These Middle Eastern brands, including Lattafa, just absolutely decimate, including something like this. I'm sorry, bro. Drake. It's not a bad fragrance, but, like, there's so many Lattafa fragrances that I would recommend over this. So let's go ahead and talk. What did he do? He didn't do anything. Yo, I actually love his music. I respect you, bro. We can make a much better fragrance together. Just saying. This isn't bad, though, but it just smells like Victor & Rolf Flower Bomb and Livia Bell. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about some of, it's very limited, okay, because there's a lot of competition out there, the best Lattafa fragrances you can get right now. If you don't have a large collection like myself, please understand that some of the ones not mentioned might still be worth it for you. But this is coming from somebody who in their collection has every single new Middle Eastern fragrance that comes out and compares them in comparison to each other. So if it's not on this list, don't get offended, don't be hurt. It's probably still a good fragrance, but there are better alternatives to whatever that fragrance you thought might be good. For example, an honorable mention, if you will, Untamed by Lattafa. This is Qa'id al-Fursan Untamed, if I'm not mistaken, that fragrance. It's not that I don't enjoy it, but I don't like Versace Nejm to begin with. This is a better take on that. Could I potentially enjoy it a little bit more later? Potentially. It does smell really good. It's just not, in my opinion, the best. Another one that I think is worthy of an honorable mention is Asad Bourbon. If you like lavender and sweet barbershoppy scents, this is pretty good. It smells like Scandal by JPG, except I like Armaf's version a little bit more. Is it a bad fragrance? Hell no, it's amazing. Even if you did pick this one over the Armaf, just want to give you a little preface as to really only keeping some of the best of the best. So let's go ahead and get started with an oldie, but a goodie. And not a single brand has dethroned this. The older it is, you guys, the more, like, I think prestige it has and the more cred it should get. This is called Qa'id Intense by Lattafa. The original is no joke either. It's cardamom and some spice. It's more of like a ammu scent, right? Your uncle. But this is sexy bad boy in a bottle and unbelievable for the price. One of the best iris fragrances at the price point. It does the buttery iris, which blows my mind at this price because coming from a standpoint of somebody who creates fragrances and loves this quality of iris, it's very expensive to recreate what they did here. So generally speaking, through captives, etc., they got really damn close and respectably good. And in terms of how close it is to Givenchy Reserve Privé, it's not the same quality, but the scent itself, even on its own, is so sexy. Ambery, boozy, buttery iris, and leather. Bad boy vibes, and top that off with performance that quite literally gets me to the next day on clothing. It's mind-blowing. Seriously. This stuff, I sprayed it on 2 nights ago, went to bed, and I woke up and I could smell my sheets smelling like this. It's not going to be for everybody. You have to like the note of iris and booze and etc., but it is a sexy-ass bad boy fragrance for, at the price, unbelievable. If you were to blindfold someone and spray it on, they would guess that this is a borderline designer fragrance, okay? Keyword borderline, but it is pretty damn close, okay? Moving on. A DNA that I have to bring up because it's just that good. The Khamra line, okay? The Khamra line is awesome. It's amazing. If I had to pick one where I would recommend consistently, consecutively, it would be the Qahwa. And the reason I say this is because the original has been just done to death. But this one's actually a pretty good take on that. And the older that it sits, the richer that it gets and the better that it performs. It's a darker, angel sherry take with dark woods and coffee. Something a bit more resinous and even sexier than the original. It's a lot more mellow. It's not as juvenile in its projection. It's not as demanding in attention. But when you get their attention, oh my God, they will probably lick you. Yeah. But this Khamra, you guys, if you don't already know, the original Khamra is inspired by this fragrance right here, Sava. But this is also inspired by Angel Share. Okay, so it's like this f***ing cloneception, bro. It's like you go in one loop and then it comes out through another. And basically what this did was Angel Share plus dates. Just Middle Eastern it out, take away some of the booze, and then Khamra came along and said, F you, here I am for $40 instead of $100. And they're both great. This actually got discontinued because nobody was touching it anymore. They were going for Khamra. So hey, Good job, bro. It is what it is. Then they made a twist on a really good flanker. Long story short, Qahwa is an amazing fragrance, one of the best from Lattafa for a very long time. Next one, I want to give you something that's new, okay? The scent profile is a little bit more challenging and polarizing, but as of today, it's the only brand to really do it this well. It was attempted by a couple of other brands, and they did an okay twist, but this is by far the closest. The performance and projection is crazy. It basically does Y Elixir. That fragrance didn't get much traction because, number one, of its price point. Number two, the borderline, I don't want to say niche DNA, but the challenging aspect of that fragrance was the oudi incensey vibe. So it takes YEDP, adds more resins, and gives you this piney and balsamic nature while also adding this exotic style of incense and oud. It's not animalistic, but it does smell a little exotic and even Middle Eastern. Y Elixir in itself, I love it. It reminds me of Somalian incense. And typically speaking, Somali incense has a lot of florals, sometimes yellow florals, but signature is like sandalwood. And I could smell all of this in this fragrance, including their take on it, which is called Fakar Platinum. This is so different from most fragrances you'll see in the market, but it is kind of a reminiscent to some traditional scents, which Y Elixir did. This is a great take on Y Elixir, and it's by far the closest one. The projection and performance of this one, compared to a lot of fragrances that I wore during the same day and testings, outdoes and outlasts other designer and niche fragrances during the same wear. So like I said, it's a little bit challenging and testy. You can easily go and get an idea of what the scent profile smells like at Macy's, Nordstrom before you go ahead and commit, even though it's a cheapie, to this $40 to $50 fragrance. If you enjoy it, this is incredible. If you enjoy it, okay? But still, by far, one of their best qualities. And you can see the increase in Lattafa's qualities. There's a lot of competition out there, but and they're all setting the standards higher and higher and higher. Judging from these two newer fragrances in this list, I would say that they're trying their best to keep up, and they're doing a pretty damn good job, indicative of these two scents that you're going to see in this video. Next one is an oldie, but also a goodie, and it's gotten better over time. Okay, these have been sitting for a long time. It was released a long time. Got a lot of hype. Initially, it wasn't doing that good in performance. It's called Lattafa's Eternal Oud. This does Grand Soir with the addition of plum. It smells better in every single way. Grand Soir is just too basic to be that expensive. It blows my mind. It's like resin and vanilla. It's crazy. $250. Okay, quality of a resin and a vanilla is, bro, it's cheap materials. This uses similar materials, but also adds a note of plum, makes it more interesting. Initially, the performance and projection of this one wasn't that great, but now that it's been sitting for like a year, bro, this stuff lasts the entire day. And I would recommend this over that $250 every single time. It's better. Now, it does a good take. It's better. Next one is pretty interesting in its presentation. They have two releases that look like this, which looks kind of like a mushaf. Astaghfirullah. It's not actual Quran. But it came in Queen of Arabia and King of Arabia. While this is a really good one, I think this one takes the cake. This does a scent profile that we already talked a lot about, and it's called Oud Markuja. And we talked about Azur Oud, etc., other fragrances that do it, but this is by far one of the best, if not the best one right now. The quality of this one, it's had a lot of time. They've had a lot of time to really perfect this scent profile. The quality between both of these, when it comes to very specifically that inky dry oud and the juiciness of the passion fruit, is one of the closest ones. And this, oh my God. This is so addicting, bro. Every time I revisit this, I wore the shit out of it. It smells like ombre nomade with juicy fruits. And this one gets the closest. It still isn't exactly the same. It kind of places me in the vein between Cure Infrarouge and ombre nomade. So I think it's something in between both. But the quality of this is really good. It's not as rich, but when you're talking about scent profiles with this kind of materials, so it smells like, the price point is where this one shines. If it's for around $50, $55 max, if you get it for less than $50, this is crazy if you like oud. But that's pretty much it, you guys. I mean, 2025 and 2024 has really given a lot of brands a run for their money. It's been a competition in race. It's been a competition in times of like, who's going to dupe first? Who's going to get better dupes first? And even then, when something is getting duped, the brand is then buying the dupes and comparing their fragrances against the others that exist. And as of right now, I think the best thing that brands can do, including Lattafa, is taking maybe popular scent profiles and creating their own twists to really offer the market something new rather than this culture of buying back to back to back. Sure, I could have dropped a lot of dupes in this list, but then it kind of takes away from the point of putting them head to head, which I like to do personally in Clone Wars. And nowadays with multiple competition, I could come out and say, I said bourbon, this one, it is a very good fragrance. But if there's something better, it's probably best I save it for a clone war, where I stack up every single brand's take of this fragrance, the original, which is going to be Scandal, and give you that information all at once. So this list serves a couple purposes. It's the best ones right now from the perspective of somebody who has a lot of other inspos to be able to compare them with one another. And I'm going to reiterate the beginning of the video. If this list does not include some of the fragrances you have, it doesn't mean it's not a good fragrance. It just means that there are a lot of other alternatives right now that might actually be better. So a rather smaller list, but not that many releases nowadays. Oh, how could I have forgotten? This is, oh my God, I think this is currently like one of the best from Lattafa right now. That would have been a damn shame if I had forgotten. Teriyaki Intense. This is next level. It'll remind you of the Angel Share and Khamra DNA, but it also has this peppery suede. Born to stand out. This is a clone of, I think it's called Drunk Lovers. So sexy. If you like Angel Share vibes, Baby Cat vibes, imagine that as a hybrid and you end up with something like this. There's some cognacs and berries. I believe there might be even some plum liquor in this one. It smells fantastic and one of the better performing fragrances from Lattafa. Last but not least, I cannot believe I almost forgot these, you guys, but this is next level. When I first got this, I thought it was Tom Ford's Noir Extreme until the recent days where I started comparing it with Blonde Amber by Clive Christian. $450, but it is worth it. Okay, that's a resin fragrance that gives you something that's truly unique with a blonde tobacco that actually gives you a lot more nuances, dried fruits, etc. And this is Lattafa's take. A lighter scent profile that surprisingly lasted for me 6 to 8 hours and projected. When you first spray this, oh shit. When you first spray this on, you would think there's no way it's gonna last, but then it just tricks you. And that's kind of how Blonde Amber is. And this is worth every penny. And when they're this old, you know they're this good. That's pretty much it, you guys. Let me know down in the comment section which one of these you are most interested in that you don't have. And this, if you like Iris, just go ahead and pull the trigger on it right now. Check all the links down in the description for some of the lowest prices, coupon codes, and I even have some of these on shoparomatics.com. Not all of them, though. Find it wherever it's cheapest. Love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe because it does help come back and make more of these videos. My name is Neve. Thank you for tuning back in Aromatics, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.